Hey guys, it's the Lego Mandalorian here, and last week I uploaded part 1 of my Last Jedi movie review. So here is my part 2. So first off, I'm going to be talking a bit more about the plots than anything in this video because, in my part 1 I talked about the character, and then, I might talk a bit more about the movie in general because I kind of left that out in part 1 because, yeah, the characters, it took me a lot longer than I thought, so this one's probably going to be more about the plot than anything else. So in The Last Jedi, there are two main plots, plus a side plot in the second plot. So the first plot, as you all know, it should be pretty obvious, it's Rey training to be a Jedi. And then the second plot is the rebels escaping the First Order. Now, I'm calling them the rebels because resistance, that name just sounds lame to me, because it's still the same thing, and rebels is just, it rolls off the tongue more than just saying resistance. So, aside from that, we have the plot inside a plot, which is, finding the code breaker, which this happens like, mid-movie, like early mid-movie technically. So it's when they need to find the master code breaker, the guy that can get them inside the main First Order ship so they can't be tracked through light speed. Now I've already rated the two main plots. I haven't rated the subplot. So the first plot, which is Rey training to be a Jedi, I have ranked it a C. Now the reason why I gave it a C is because, like, throughout the movie, she really didn't get much training. Like, with The Empire Strikes Back, with Luke training to be a Jedi, he had, a lot more training than Rey, like, at least we saw. So, that's why I gave it a C, because, Rey just didn't really get much training, whereas Luke, we actually did see him get more training. I mean, he didn't get much training, but he did get more training than Rey. And then we got the second plot, which is the rebels escaping the First Order. So I gave it a B, because this plot, it felt a lot more like Star Wars, because in The Force Awakens there just wasn't as much struggle like from the rebels themselves, whereas this one there was a lot more struggle, like you could see and feel the struggle that the rebels were feeling. And, at the end of the movie, they only have like a handful of people left, just a Millennium Falcon worth of people. So, those are just the ratings that I'm giving the plots for the movie. So, in part 1, I never really said if I liked the movie or not. Now, I'm just gonna say right off the bat that, it was really a meh movie for me. Like, I actually haven't been like this after seeing a movie, like, ever, or like I don't know if I like the movie or not. I mean, there were some good redeeming qualities about the movie, but then there was plenty of stuff I didn't like about it. So then it just really balances it out. Now, this is only my opinion. You might like it, for something else, and then but you may dislike it because of something else. And yeah, it's just something I really never got to talk about in part 1, so I'm just gonna say it right now. It was just a meh movie for me, so yeah, that's just something I want to let you guys know before we continue the rest of this video. So since we're talking about the movie in general, I thought we'd talk about the stuff that I liked about the movie and stuff that I didn't like about it. So for the stuff that I didn't like about it, just to tell you, these are a bit more of problems than anything. Just stuff that, wasn't explained, or stuff that I just thought didn't seem right. So, like, the first one I have is, now in the beginning scene in the command room, with the big explosion, now, we could see Leia floating in space, and then apparently, then we just see her, like, wake up, like, in the middle of space and just float back to the command center. Like, how did she do this? It was never explained. And another thing was they killed off Admiral Akbar. Yeah, they never really they just said, he died too. He was in the command center, so yeah, they just didn't do anything about him. I mean, he was a pretty good character back in Return of the Jedi. So next up we have who was Snoke and what were his origins, because I thought they were gonna kill him off in episode 9, but no, he died in The Last Jedi. Also, I felt like he was killed off way too easily. I mean, like you saw, well, if you've seen the movie and you're watching this review, you saw how powerful he was with the Force. I mean, that was pretty cool, and so yeah, I felt like he was killed off too easily by Kylo Ren. So then we've got like then we have why. So when they found the code breaker, well, they found another guy who apparently was a code breaker, but not the code breaker that they're supposed to find. So yeah, I felt like there was no point in introducing him if they were just gonna fly off with the other guy. Then we've got then it's just Kylo Ren. He's just, I really don't know whose side he's on. Like no one really does. Like for a while he was fighting with Rey, and he still wants to kill Luke. Yeah, it's just we don't know what's going on with him. So then we've got now at the ending scene, it was sort of Battle on Hoth all over again, and the rebels have already had that kind of battle. Like, why did they have, foot soldiers in the trenches? They knew that was absolutely no effect against the walkers. So why did they pull off the same stunt? They just got more soldiers killed. And, they already had barely any rebels left. So yeah, why'd they do that? I don't know. Then we've got there's another just thing that I thought was just really bad about the movie. Well, not really awful, but there was the scene with Ghost Yoda. The Ghost Yoda puppet was kind of corny. And the 80s Yoda, he was awesome. That puppet, you didn't even feel like, he was a puppet if you saw it. Like, when I saw the puppet Yoda for The Last Jedi, you just could tell he was a puppet, whereas, the 80s Yoda, he felt a lot more alive than this one. And then we've got the last one is, where is Ghost Obi-Wan and Anakin? So, I mean, I know they didn't need to be in the movie, but I just hope they answer this question in episode 9. So, yeah, those are just some problems I have with the movie. So, now let's move on to some of the stuff that I actually liked about the movie. So, now let's talk about some of the stuff that I liked about it, / what was good about the movie. Now, first off, one of the things I really liked about it was just the rebels themselves, fleeing from the First Order. I thought that was really cool. I mean, plus, they're, only, just, less than 20 of them left, by the end of the movie, so, yeah, that's gonna be, we don't know what's gonna happen to them. They might find, there's more rebels out there, but I think that's definitely a good change for them. So, yeah, then there's that, and, yeah, they've just, they've got no more ships. All they've got left is the Millennium Falcon and less than 20 people. So, yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool to see, how that all plays out with the next movie, episode 9. And then we've got, Luke and just the first Jedi Temple. That was definitely interesting. I mean, then we got to, learn more about Kylo Ren's backstory and how he left Luke's Jedi Order and destroyed it technically. So, I mean that definitely put more of a helps his character out a lot more, because now we know a bit more about him than instead of just being the evil military director. He's not technically a military director, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, those are just some of the good things about it, and yeah, that's all I really got. I mean, I do feel like I had a bit less good things than bad things, but I mean, as I said, it's more of a meh movie for me, so yeah. So that's about all the stuff that I wanted to talk about in this video, so I might make a part 3 to this, but I mean, I feel like that's about it, to what I had to say about The Last Jedi, but, maybe I might think of some other stuff and make a part 3, but those, all that is just, my opinion, plus part 1 is just my opinion of The Last Jedi. So, as always, if you like this video, you can give it a like. If you want to see more of this kind of content, you can subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.